Okay, I'm starting the session. Okay. Today we are going to see an very important tool in market, which is Docker. Okay. So what is Docker? So Docker is a container tool. Okay. So I can say in DevOps, it is one of the most powerful tool right now in the market. So if you know Docker, then if you had Docker in your resume, that will give you more chances to clear interviews, as well as it will give you more CTC as well. And if you're not mentioning Docker in your resume, then you will miss lots of calls. Okay. So now, what is Docker, right? So before going into Docker, I'll just give you an example. Okay. So just think that you have just think that you have two application. One is Windows based application, another one is Linux based application. Just think that you are into like before in 2000 period. Okay, let's before 2 decades before. You have, if you want to deploy two different OS based application, what you have to do is you have to buy one physical machine. In this physical machine, you will install Windows OS. Then you will deploy this application. And for Linux based application, you will buy another host machine. Then you will install Linux OS. You will install Linux OS. Then you will install Linux based application. So for you cannot deploy different OS based application in same OS. I'm saying in late 90s and early 2000. Okay. So now for this, they have introduced, to overcome this issue, they have introduced one concept called VMware. Okay. So what is VMware? Now just think this is Damu. Okay. And he has two application. So this is again Windows, and it is Linux based application. Okay. Now there is one concept called VMware. In VMware, what he will do means, okay. So what he will do means, he will buy one Windows infrastructure laptop. Okay. Then he will install Windows OS, might be Windows 7 or Windows 10. Okay. Then here he will deploy Windows application, right? Then in Linux based application, he will install hypervisor or VMware client, I can say. Then he will install one OS, you will install one OS, might be for I'll say what type of OS. Then you will launch this Linux based application. So this is Windows infrastructure. This is Windows OS. This is hypervisor or VMware client. VMware client. For example, this is Red Hat 6 and this is application. Okay, this is VMware. Now, Damo is hosting both Windows application and Linux application in same machine. This we will call it as VMware. Okay, now you have one more application. Okay, this is Ubuntu based application. I guess everyone knows what is Ubuntu application, right? So now in this same physical machine, Damu is trying to launch Ubuntu based application. So what you have to do means, again you have to install Ubuntu. You have to install Ubuntu OS. Then you will host, this is Ubuntu. This is Ubuntu based application. Now again he has one more application, that is Sun Solaris. So he has to install Sun Solaris, then he will install the application. Okay, so again, if you just think that this is old physical machine. Okay, so this physical machine space is 8 GB. Okay, this is one OS, this is one OS, this is one OS, right? So each OS itself will take 2 GB. 2 GB, 2 GB, 2 GB. So here OS itself is taking 6 GB. Okay, so now this is wasting your resources, right? So to overcome, again here you are facing OS based issues, right? So for each OS you are installing your OS, then you are launching one application, right? Again here you are facing OS based dependencies, correct? So now to avoid OS based dependency, they have introduced one concept called Docker. Okay, so what is Docker means? You will install your infrastructure, your OS might be Windows or Linux OS. Then you will install Docker. Then you will launch container. N number of container you can launch. Then you will host your application. So this is your infrastructure. This is your OS, any OS, and this is your Docker engine, and this is your container, and this is your applications. So there will be only one OS, okay, and you can launch whatever application you need, okay. There is no OS dependency, okay. Okay, now I don't know how many people are from infrastructure background. Actually, before 4.5 5 years back, I have worked as a middleware admin. Okay, in middleware admin, right? So I worked for the client SBI. Okay, so my developer has developed one application with Java 1.6. Okay, just think that my developer has developed or built this application with Java 1.6. Now he is testing in his own laptop because in his laptop he has installed Java 1.6 and he is testing the application that is working fine. Now I am the infrastructure guy. He is sending me mail like please deploy this application in QA or development environment. Okay, but in my QA or in my development environment I have installed Java 1.8. Just think that I have installed Java 1.8. Okay, whether the same code which my developer has developed with Java 1.6 can run in Java 1.8? No, it won't run. So either my application has to build based upon the environment, or my environment should be configured based upon the application. Okay, still now this was the process. Okay, now after Docker there is no environment or version or OS dependency. Okay, so Docker is nothing but build one, deploy anywhere. That is, if your application is working well or fine in one environment, then you can be 100% sure that same application will run in different environment. Okay, how I'll tell later. Okay, but this is Docker. Okay, suppose if your application is working fine in testing environment using Docker, then you can be 100% sure same application will work in your production environment also without any issues. How? Because there is no dependencies at all, like your environment dependency, OS dependency, version dependencies and all. Okay, so this is Docker. So Docker is container tool. Okay. Okay, so this is VMware versus Docker. So this was I have explained you. So this is your infrastructure. Just think that this is your Windows laptop. Windows laptop. You are installing Windows you are installing Windows 7 or 10. Then you are installing hypervisor or VMware software client. Then you are installing guest OS. Okay. Then you are installing. You are launching your application, and again you are installing for Ubuntu application, you are installing Ubuntu OS, then you are launching your second application. For Linux, you are installing Linux OS, then you are launching your Linux based application. So this is VMware, and in your Docker, your infrastructure, your host operating system, then you are installing Docker, then you are launching the containers. So the size of the container, the memory utilization of the container, RAM size is just your OS is RAM, right? So all we will see it in comments. Okay, just you have to know what is Docker, what is difference between virtual machine and container. Docker is nothing but it is container tool. So mainly to avoid OS dependency, they have introduced this tool. That's it. Okay, fine. I'll, see, I'll give you one live example. Okay, so I'll give you one more example. Just think that we are having, for example, greens, packers, and movers. Okay, okay. So greens, packers, and movers. So now greens, packers, and movers. Now I'm having different products. Just think that this is a laptop, this is a projector, this is chairs, desktop, and I can say printers, scanners, everything. Okay. Now this should be shifted. This is in Chennai. Okay, these are all in Chennai. Okay, and this all should be moved to Coimbatore. Okay, this all should be moved to Coimbatore, right? So now what we are doing is, so far we have different types of transportation. We have different type of transportation like road, ship, train, air. Okay, just think that these are all OS. Just think that these are all, instead of transportation, just imagine like it is one OS. Okay, now these are all application. Okay, so now what so far you are doing is, for road based transportation you are just you are doing different package. For ship based you are doing different package. For train based transportation you are doing different package. For air transport you are doing different package. So you are building your package based upon each transportation, so which is time consuming, right? So now what you will do in Docker is, you will pack all this inside your container. Okay, so that you will move this container, or you can transport this all the products using any transportation, because this is packed inside the container. This is Docker. Any, at least you got some idea, little bit. Understood, Prabhanjan? Okay, so as Jitendra said, container is nothing. Next will be that will be my next point. Container is nothing but it is just a package, like whatever software or whatever files required to run one application, all will be inside the Docker. All will be inside the container, I can say. Okay, in container we will specify everything whatever required to run one application. Okay, so far we have built our application based upon each OS. Now after container, you don't want to build your application for each OS. Instead of that, you will build as an Docker image, so that your application can run in any environment. That's it. This is Docker. Understood or not? Fine. Great. So see, in interviews, they will ask you what is the purpose of going to Docker. Okay, just you can say, to avoid OS dependency, we are going for Docker, so that your application can run in any environment. Okay, that is, if your application runs in testing environment, you can be 100% sure that same application will run in any environment. This is your answer. Then your second questions will be, what is difference between VMware and container? I have shown you. I have shown you with diagram as well. This is your difference. Okay. There won't be any guest OS. Okay.
Now, what is the difference between VMware and Docker?
No, I didn't understand your question.
Sandanam here. I
No,
didn't get your point.
you can put in chats, please, so that, because I'm not able to hear it.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So, as Dinesh said, so VMware is hardware level or host level virtualization, whereas Docker is OS level virtualization. That's it. Okay. So this is Docker. So this is introduction of Docker. Any doubts in this? What is Docker? What is difference between Docker and VM? And what is why we are going for Docker and all? See, again, I'll explain you because I'm getting so many doubts, so that's what I'm not able to tell my points. The thing is, again, I'll tell you. So Docker. So if you go to here, right, DevOps periodic table. So this is DevOps periodic table. So in this DevOps periodic table, so in container, we are seeing Docker. Okay, so what is container is? Container is one package, I can say. Okay, it is one package where we will specify everything, whatever required to run one application. That is the definition for Docker. So that is the definition for container. Okay, so, and Docker is one company. They have introduced this container concepts. So that's what we are calling it as Docker. Okay, Docker is separate company. Okay, so this is separate company. So where because of this company, container concept as I can say became famous. I can say. Okay, that's what everyone is saying. Docker, Docker, Docker. So see here. So in single application, you are having multiple application. In single OS, you are having multiple applications. Okay. So now, so what is container? Container is a package. So in that particular package, we will specify everything, whatever required to run one application. That's it. Okay. Now, so previously we had we had a VMware concept. In VMware concept, again, you will deploy different OS for your different application, right? So to avoid this, they have introduced one concept called Docker. So in Docker, what you will do is there is no guest OS itself. There is no guest OS. There will be only one OS host to operating system. Then you will install Docker. Then you will launch your application. So VMware is hardware level or host level virtualization, whereas Docker is OS level virtualization. Okay, there will be only one OS. So here your resources utilizations are high. Here resource utilization is very less. Here for launching one application itself, it will take more time. Where here launching one application will take very less time. That's it. This is difference between VMware and Docker. So the main purpose of going to Docker is you can avoid OS dependencies, version dependencies and all, so that you can be 100% sure that your application can run in any environment. That's it. Any other doubts? Still we didn't go for practical. So this just see, if you see in any YouTubes and all, right, for Docker itself, they will speak for 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so we are not going to write any theory examination. Just if you know what is Docker, what is the purpose of Docker in DevOps, then you are good to go. Fine. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to see this part. Infrastructure and operating system both will be given by your AWS. So go to EC2. Instances. Launch instances. So here I'll take Ubuntu OS, Ubuntu latest version. I'm just taking latest version. So here I'll make it as Docker. Then I'll use default security group itself.
Hello, Damu. Good morning.
Who's this?
Kamakanan, Damu. How are you?
Yare?
Kamakanan.
கேட்கலங்க வாய்ஸ்.
Kamakanan, Damu.
கமலக்கண்ணனா? எந்த பிரான்ச்சுங்க? ஞாபகம்
நம்ம போரூர் பிரான்ச் ஜி.
ஓ சரி, ஓகே 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 ஓகே.
ஒரு சின்ன டவுட் இருக்கு தாமா, கேட்கலாமா?
சொல்லுங்க.
இப்போ நம்ம டாக்கர் ரோஸ் பண்றோம்ல?
ஆமாங்க.
இதுல வந்து சிங்கிள் ஓஎஸ் மல்டிபிள் மைக்ரோ சர்வீசஸ் போட ரன் பண்றோம். சப்போஸ் சர்வீஸ் டவுன் ஆயிடுச்சுனா இன்னொரு சர்வீஸ்.
நிறைய பேர் வந்து தமிழ் புரியாது.
ஓகே ஓகே, நான்
இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொன்னீங்கன்னா so that everyone will understand.
Yeah, if suppose you are running a single OS and we have multiple microservices in Docker, right?
Correct.
In virtualization, you are hosting separate OS for separate application, dedicated applications.
Correct.
If suppose OS is corrupted, there will be only one application is down. But if suppose in Docker, if OS is corrupted, all the microservices will down, right?
No, there is separate concept for cluster.
Cluster concept would be, yeah, we have.
Cluster concept is there. So if one EC2 OS won't be corrupted, right? Very
Minimal time it will happen.
If it is in cloud, I am working in cloud for almost 3 years. Okay, so far I have never seen, not only me, I have separate group itself for all my friends.
Yes, bro, I do understand that, but just a small query about that, whether it is happen or not.
I'll show you.
Thanks, Damu.
No, just to show you. So these are all my friends, okay? So I have 184 friends. Okay? In my 184 friends, all are working in AWS and DevOps. We have never seen any OS corruption or OS down so far in AWS. Might be in Azure. We have seen like some data center issues, lots of issues you will see it in Azure. But so far, I have not seen any very big major issues in AWS. Okay, so you can be like 99%. You can be 100% sure that there won't be any OS dependency. Again, instead of Docker, I have Kubernetes. So Kubernetes most the use of right now the use of Docker has become very less. Everything we are using Kubernetes. I'll speak about Kubernetes in my in my next session. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So this is my see just remember this diagram. This is my diagram. Infrastructure, host operating system. This too has been given by your AWS. Now I'm using Ubuntu OS. Next, I'm going to install Docker. So apt-get update. So apt-get is the Ubuntu's default package. First, I'm updating the package. Sorry. Apt-get update -y. Okay, then apt-get install docker.io. So this is the Docker command to install Docker. Okay, so Docker version, you should see both client and server. Okay, sometimes you won't see server. That means your Docker is not running. That is, your Docker engine is not yet running. Like this, for example, service Docker stop. Now, if I give Docker version, you will see only client. That means your Docker daemon means engine or server, I can say. Your Docker server is not running. So how to start Docker? Service Docker start. Now, if I give Docker version, you should see both client and server. If you are able to see this client and server, that means your Docker is ready. Okay, so next is, so as per this diagram, this is your infrastructure, this is your Ubuntu OS, then I have installed a Docker. Now we are into this part. Okay, so in Docker, there are 4 important points you have to remember, or 4 important keywords. 4 important keywords. One is Docker file. Next one is Docker image. Third one is Docker container. Fourth one is Docker hub. So what is Docker file means? In Docker file, we will specify everything, whatever needed to run one application. Like what will be the source for the application, what will be the dependencies to run one application, what software required to run one application, how to start the application, what will be the port number to run that application, what commands needs to be executed inside your application, all will be there in Docker file. Okay. What is Docker image? Docker image is nothing but when you build your Docker file, the output will be Docker image. Docker image is just those who have learned AWS, Docker image is same like your AMI. That is like this. Okay, Docker image is same like your AMI. Okay, so when you build your Docker file, the output will be Docker image. Okay, so Docker container is like your EC2. Like when you run your Docker image, your output will be, it will become Docker container. Okay, Docker hub is central repository to store your private images, as well as you can get some public Docker image as well. So again, I'll say you what is Docker file is. Docker file is the file where you will find all the information required to run one application, like port number, command to start the application, dependencies, software, source, all you will find it in Docker file. When you build your Docker file, the output will be Docker image. When you run your Docker image, it will become Docker container. Docker Hub is a central repository where you will find public images, as well as you can store your private images as well. Okay. So these four terms you should not forget. Okay. You should not forget the order as well. First is Docker file. When you build your Docker file, you will get Docker image. When you run your Docker image, you will get Docker container. Docker Hub is central repository. Any doubts in these four keywords? Thank you. Okay. Now, great. Okay. Now, um, Docker Hub, I said, right? Docker Hub is central repository. So here, this is a Docker Hub. Um, just search it in Google. Okay, Docker Hub, you will get this page. Okay, you have to sign up. Sign up is same like how you will do it in Facebook. So I have my Docker account. So this is free only. Okay, so here you can find all your Docker images for public Docker images. For example, HTTPD. This is Apache image. Same MySQL, then Jenkins, then Nginx, like this. So any other tools you need, just check it out. Just tell me. Don't say something very different. At least something which is very popular. So Ansible. Ansible is tool here. You won't find, right? It is one configuration management tool. You won't find. Something tools. Oracle, softwares, Oracle, Java, WebSphere, WebLogic, Tomcat, JBoss. So like this you can find. Autosys. Autosys. Oh, autosys and all, it's what type of, yeah, might be, I don't know about autosys. So like this, you can find all your public images. Now, just remember this diagram. Till Docker daemon we have done. Now we are going to host this application. So I'm going to run this Apache image. So how to get this image? This is the command. Okay, this is the command to get your this particular image. So always you have, it is better to use always official images. Here you will find official image. It is always recommended to use official image. So now in your Docker machine, Docker pull HTTPD. So today what we are going to do is we are just going to do L1 activity. That is, someone has written Docker file and they have converted that Docker file into Docker image and they have pushed that Docker image in Docker Hub. Okay. Now we are just using public images. Okay. So Docker pull HTTPD. This is the command to get your image. So this will pull your particular image from Docker Hub. Now, from here on, we are going to see at least 15 commands. Okay. So now I want to see whether the image has been downloaded in my local machine or not. So Docker images. Okay. So your image is ready. So if you remember this, after image, you have to run container. So Docker run, I'll first write the command and I'll explain you. So Docker run is the command for running one container. -itd is interactive terminal detached mode. D is background. Okay. -name container one, that is name for your container. -p is port number. This is the port number and this is your OS port and this is your image name. From this image, I am launching one container. Okay. Now your Docker PS. Docker PS is the command to see active containers. Now your container is running, which is running in 8080 port. So if you go and check here, Docker #8080, you are getting it works. Why? Because in that particular image file in index.html, they have mentioned it works. So this is launching your container. Any doubts in this? Fine.
Praveen here from Navlur branch. So here we are for containers and for image, which for other softwares like Ansible and .NET and other softwares, we are using the same containers.
Oh, one sec. So who's this? Someone asked me, right?
Damu, this Praveen from Navlur branch.
Praveen, yes, tell me, Praveen.
Yeah, Damu, for, now we have used containers, right? So for every softwares like .NET and Java, Apache, and Ansible, will be using the same containers? Commands. What containers commands? image.
Commands are the Docker commands and all is same for all OS. The installation will be different, but Docker commands will be same.
Okay.
Okay, because for Ubuntu you'll use apt-get. For Linux you'll use yum. This I guess everyone knows this one. Correct? Correct?
Yeah. Yes, Damu.
That's all. The Docker commands, Docker images, Docker pull, Docker ps, whatever I'm giving Docker commands, right? Docker commands are it is unique to, or it is identical to all OS. I can say common. It is common to all OS. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Damu.
Okay. So now someone has asked me, Naveen. Naveen, you are from Tambram branch. Naveen, you are from Tambram branch. Okay. So what's your doubt?
Damu, can we use other port number?
You can use whatever ports you want. For example, again, I'll show you. Okay. I'll show you. Okay. So Docker pull is to pull your image. Docker image can someone if you need, otherwise I'll put EC and I'll give you, or if you need it, you can just note down this. Okay. So Docker pull is the command to pull your image from Docker Hub. Docker images, it is the command to check whether the particular image has been pulled in your local machine or not. Docker ps is to show you only active containers. Okay. It will Docker ps, it will show only the active containers. Okay. Now Docker stop container id, this will stop your container. Okay. Docker stop container id, this will stop your container. Now if I give Docker ps, it won't show you. Why? Because Docker ps will list you only the active containers. Now I want to see even inactive containers, that is even stop the containers. Then Docker ps-a, okay, which is in excited. So Docker ps-a is all. Okay. So which will give even inactive containers. So here in status you are saying existed. That means this particular container is in stopped status. Okay. Docker ps-a. Now Docker rm container id, Docker rm container id will remove the container. Now Docker ps-a, you won't see any containers. So Docker rm container id, which will remove the containers. Okay. Now Docker images. Now Docker rm I image id, Docker RMI image ID will remove the particular images. Okay.
Damu, I have a small query.
One sec.
Sure.
Yes.
Damu, suppose is there any chance to rename the image ID name? Because it's showing us quite difficult, right? Suppose we have n number of images.
Yes.
So
you have Docker tag command. That will be. I'll show you in next class.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Docker tag. Okay. Fine. Till this, any doubts? So we know how to pull the image, how to launch one container, how to see my containers running or not, how to see my running stopped containers, how to stop or start my container, how to remove the container, how to remove the image. Any doubts so far? And I have given you comments as well.
We have a doubt. Ramu,
Yes, who's this?
Sandanam from DL.
Tell me, Sandanam.
Can we stop the image while running Docker image?
Where you want to store?
No, you teach me like while we can remove the image, right, while running.
No, I didn't understand your question.
No, the question is, shall we remove the image while running?
Running the
Your
container.
container
Right?
is running. The container is running.
I'll show you. Okay. I'll show you with practical itself. Okay. Fine. Can you please explain the run itd command once? Okay. Next time again I'll run you this command. Okay. So how much? See, I'll run this now. Same command I'm running. Okay. See here, I'm running this command again. I have removed this image. Okay, -itd is interactive terminal detached mode. That means if you are not using D, then it will log in inside the container. That's what I'm giving D. D is background. Okay, now those who are attending first time for Docker has to answer this. Now, if I have removed this HTTPD image, okay, now if I run this command, what Docker will do? Can someone answer? Only those who are attending first time.
Means this image will not be there in the container, no? So Abhishek here from now.
Okay. So the question is, I have removed this image from my local machine. Again, I'm running this command. What Docker will do? That's my question, Prabhanjan.
Actually, Docker will check on the 8080 port. If not that the image is not available, it will not come. I think it will probably it's none or it will throw some error.
Okay, you are saying that it will throw you some error.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, what Prabhanjan? What you said? Because it will launch the application. No, I have removed the image from my local machine, right?
But we are using ITD, right? ITD will hold ITD will run in background.
Okay. So what Docker will do means by default, what Docker will do means by default what Docker will do means whether it will check whether the particular image is present in your machine or not. If not, again it will go and pull that particular image from Docker Hub and it will launch your application. Just see here. So it is saying unable to find the image locally. Then again it is pulling from Docker Hub. Now if you give Docker PS and if you check here, refresh, you are able to see it. Understood how Docker is working? How Docker will work when you run the Docker command means, Docker run command means, first it will check whether the particular image is present in your machine. If it is there, it will pick that and it will launch your container. Otherwise, what Docker will do means, it will go and pull that particular image from Docker Hub, then it will launch your container. Okay. Now,
Small query. Sorry for the disturbance interruption. Actually, in GitHub, what we'll do is suppose if
what's your name?
Kamal Damo.
Tell me.
Yeah, suppose example you are using a GitHub, we need some credential to get the data from a hub, right? But yeah,
That's what. Git is your private repository, correct?
yes.
Whereas Docker Hub, suppose see here, now instead of HTTPD, I'm giving some different image name. Okay, Damo Greens. Okay. If you go and check here in public hub, right, Domo Greens. It is not fine. There is no image with Domo Greens. See what it will throw. I'm just changing the port number. So it is, you are getting access denied. Then it is asking me whether it might be your private image. So you just log in into the Docker, then you just pull it.
Okay.
Okay.
Only this is, for example, for only the public images, right?
Tomorrow. Huh?
This is for only for public images. If suppose we need a using in some private images, we need some credential, right?
Yes, yes. If you are using private image, then it will ask for Docker login. This will, I'll teach you this tomorrow. That's what. Okay. That's what I said. Today we are just going to use only public images, and we are going to do only L1 activity. Understood?
Sure. Thanks.
I'm just going step by step so that no one should get confused. Okay. So it will come by default. If you install Docker, it will just pull it from Docker Hub. Okay.
Damo, Meenakshi here. So if in this case now, when you it always checks whether image is there locally on.
Meenakshi from Siriseri, right?
Yeah.
Tell me.
No, we gave Docker pull HTTPD, not to pull the images. So why do we use that? Rather, in this case, we can directly give Docker run ITD.
No. I am just giving you, there are different commands just to show you that there is one command, Docker pull.
Okay, so even if we don't give Docker pull and if we give directly Docker run, it will perform the same thing. No?
Correct. It will perform. Okay. Even instead of searching here, you can search from here also. Docker search HTTPD. Okay. So this image. So like this, there are so many commands. No, you have to give the particular image name. If you are giving this name, it will take this image. CentOS like this, then this will pull this particular image. Okay. Now, Docker PS. Okay. Now, I'm just going into, just think that this container is easy to. Now I'm going to log in inside the container. So how to log in inside the container? Docker exe -it container ID bin bash. So you are entering inside the container with bin bash. So this is the command for login inside your container. So now you are inside your container. Okay. Okay. Now Docker logs container ID, log of the container. Docker logs container ID, which will give you log for your container. Okay. Next. Docker attach some people will use this command. Docker attach. This is also will this command is not working. Okay, old command is okay. So Docker top container ID. Docker top container ID will give you what process running inside your container. Okay. Docker top container ID will give you what process running inside your container. Okay. Then Docker stats container ID will give you what is the CPU utilization, what is the memory used, okay, what is the network, network input or output. All you will get it in network stats like CPU utilization, memory utilization, everything. You can, someone has asked me how you will identify what RAM size and all. So using Docker stats command. Okay, Docker stats container ID. Docker stats container ID will give you memory utilization and CPU utilization of one container. Then Docker info Docker info. Docker info will give you full details about your Docker, like how many containers are running, whether it is pass state or the stop state, how many images are there, what version you are using, then its complete details, what is the kernel version, what OS, all you will find it in Docker info. Okay. Next, Docker inspect container ID. Docker inspect container ID will give you complete details about your container, like what is the IP address for this container, what gateway ID, what is your MAC address, then what is the working directory, okay, from what image you have built this container, then whether it is running or not, in which port it is running, all you can get it from Docker inspect. Okay. Next, this is the root path for your container. Docker, that is, this is the very important part for your container, for your Docker, I can say, where like it is a backend file, I can say, where you can find all the backend files. Okay. If suppose any image, containers, all you can find in this path. So this is the very important path for your Docker. Root path, root directory. Root directory means important directory, you can say. Okay. Fine. So any doubt so far? We have seen some of the basics comments. Any doubts in this? So perform this basics commands so that your next class you should be clear with all these basics commands. So whatever you have seen today, that is very basics commands. Okay. How to log into the container. Docker ps docker exe -it container id /bin/bash. This is the command to log in inside your container. I have explained so many times, Srini. Run itdc. I'll explain with you. See, Docker Docker rm. I'm just removing this container. Here, if you are, I'm not using D, right? You are seeing logs here. You are able to see. You are getting here. So whatever it is not, your container is not running in background. Everything you are seeing here. That's what I'm using ITD. D means all this will be run in background. That's what. Clear? D is nothing but background. Okay. I have Karthik. I have posted all the comments in this chats itself. Can you I have explained this. I have done this as well. What is bin bash? Bin bash purposes. You are telling the container login into with as shell prompt. Okay. Then what we need to check inside the container once what what I said, just initialize your container as EC2. Once you will log into the EC2, what and all you will do, you can do it inside the container. No, bin bash purposes, you are just telling to container login into the container as shell command. Okay, bin bash is shell command. What need to check inside the container once login? What and all you will do it inside the EC2. Say all the commands or all the activities you can do inside your container as well. Okay. Ram Kumar. Okay. So now I guess everyone cleared so far. Now, okay, I'll ask you this interview question. Can I run multiple containers with same image or not? I need answers from everyone, at least from 10 people. So, Great. Good. Okay. Next question is, uh, can I have multiple image inside your container? Multiple image? No or yes?
Damu, answer is no.
No. The answer is no, right? See, that's what I said. Image, you just think it as AMI, and EC container, you just think it up as EC2. Okay. You can run multiple EC2 with same image, but one EC2 cannot have multiple AMIs. Correct? Correct? But there is one in Kubernetes, you can have it, but there is concept called pod and all. But just now, right now, for basics, you just understand in the sense. Okay, fine. Okay, now so far we have used public images. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to create one private image. Then I'm going to write one Docker file. That Docker file I'm going to convert into Docker image. That Docker image I'm going to run it as container. Okay. See here, I have shared you. Okay. Now, here, now this is your local machine, Ubuntu machine. You have installed Docker. Now your developer is asking you, okay, we need one container. This is developer. Okay. Your developer is asking that inside this container, he require Vim and wget. What is Vim means? Vim is VA editor. Wget is nothing but, suppose if you want to download something from one URL, then you need wget. Wget is command, Unix command. Vim and wget are Unix command. Okay. Now for this, I'm going to use I'm going to write one Docker file and I'm going to launch one container. Okay. Now Okay. So now this star is your developer. Okay. This is your container. Okay. This is your Ubuntu machine. This is Docker. Okay. Now your developer is asking that you need one container with Vim and wget. Vim and wget is nothing but one Unix command. Okay, Vim is VA editor, wget is one Unix command where suppose if you want to download something from one URL, you require wget command. Okay, so for this, I'm just going to write one Docker file. So mkdir for creating one directory, file for Vim. Just I'm creating one directory. Now cd file for Vim. Okay, so now vi docker file. Your docker file should be like this. With D should be caps. Okay, so don't forget this. Your docker file always should start caps D and docker file. Fine.
Demo, I have a doubt. Before we go any further, I won't have a doubt.
Now,
Hello.
now I'm just going to write one docker file. I'll write the docker file, then I'll explain you. So see here from. So this is your this what your docker file will look. Okay. So from is nothing but as I said, it is the source. So it is not an OS, it is source. From which source you want to launch your container. My base OS is Ubuntu, but here I'm just saying CentOS. For this only you are using Docker. Okay. Then maintainer is nothing but it's like an who has created this Docker file. In real time, we will give their official mail ID. Suppose something goes wrong with this Docker file, we have to connect with that particular developer. Okay, then run yum is CentOS default package. So that's what yum install. As developer require wget and vim. I'm just giving wget and vim -y. -y is yes. So your Docker file is ready. Next, if you remember this, next we have to convert this Docker file into Docker image. So Docker build -d. So Docker build is command to build your Docker image. -t is tagging. Okay, this is name for your image. Dot is where your Docker file is present. Again, I'll explain you. Docker build is command to build your Docker image. -t is you're giving name for your Docker image. I'm just giving us Vim version 1.0. Dot is where your Docker file is present. Okay. Now, if I give Docker images, you will get your image. So this is your private image. Okay. So the size is 302 MB. Okay. So now your Docker image is ready. Your Docker image is ready. Next is you have to launch your container. So how to launch your container? Docker run -itd -name container 2. This is not an application, okay, because these two are just Unix command. That's what I'm not giving -p, okay. So straight away I'm giving image name. So already I've given why I'm getting error is already I've given container 2 code, that is name. So I have to change your name container T. Now if I give Docker PS, your container is running. Now I'm just logging inside the container, Docker -it container ID bin bash. So my developer asked Vim, right? So VI is working. wget is also working. Understood? Now someone answer me this one again. Those who are attending for first time has to answer this. Docker PS. Docker PS you will find, right? Or Docker PS -a. Okay. So next is, can someone answer me? So now again, your developer is coming in the same container. You need Git. Okay. Again, your task is this 2 should not be installed again. Then how you will do it? Soon, because we have another session at 12:15. Everyone understood this or not? So how we will do it? See, my developer is coming that again in this container, he need Git. What you will do? Okay, just I don't want to install Git again inside the I don't want to install Vim and wget again. So how to do it? Just this is your task and let me know. So tomorrow we will discuss on this. Okay, right? Okay, so no. See, I'll give the answer for this. Okay, see here. I'm just opening the Docker file. Okay. Now I'm giving Git here. Okay. Now I'm just changing the source to Vim version 1.0. So in this particular image, already Vim and wget is there. Then in that I'm just installing Git. So this is your answer. Everyone able to understand this one? Same like your AMI concept. Same like your AMI concept.
Damu, small query.
Yeah.
Is there any chance to install Git in the inside the container in the command line? not in this VI file.
Inside your container. Right now, I'm just installing inside the container only, right?
No, it's I'm just asking in the command line itself.
Means?
In command line, you just move to the terminal. The terminal itself, if there is any chance to install it.
No. See, right now I'm just installing Git inside my container. No, you just call Kamla content, right?
Yes, Damo.
You just call me, okay? I'm not understanding. I guess you
Sure,
have
sure,
my
sure.
number. You can call me, okay?
Yeah. Thanks.
I think he's.
I think without getting into the container, we cannot install because the developer wants that to be installed inside the container only.
Your voice is too low, yeah.
I think we cannot do execute it outside the container because developer wants the Git to be installed inside the container, right?
That's what.
So we have to go inside the container and only do it. But Kamlakanan's question is, he's asking without getting into the container, will we be able to execute from the terminal?
If I'm not wrong, your question is, you need, see, as per that scenario, developer is asking that already that container has Vim and wget. Now your developer is asking you that inside that container I need Git as well. Okay. So what I have done is I have just changed the source here. Okay. Why? Because in this particular image, if you use CentOS again, that CentOS will have only empty OS. Okay. So now if you use your own image, in this particular image, you already have Vim and wget. In that image, you are just uploading Git. Same like your AMI concept. For example, you will understand this one. Here, now you have launched EC2. Inside this EC2, you have web server, app server, database. Okay. Now this is working fine. Now your developer is asking inside the same EC2 instance, he require some files or something. I can say some Nginx. What you will do? You will take image of this, okay, and you will use that AMI and you will launch one. You will launch one instance. In that instance, you will install Nginx so that you will have web server, app server, database, and Nginx. Right? Same concept here. Understood or not?
Yes, I do understand.
Okay. Fine. So from is source. That's it. Source image. Okay. So now your task is, your all task is do all this task. What is difference between Docker kill, Docker stop, Docker pass? Name itself will tell you. Still, just check it out. What is difference between Docker attach and Docker exe? Okay. Then what is difference between microservice application versus monolithic application? This very important. Everyone should see this difference. What is difference between microservice application and monolithic application? Because in real time, in Docker, we will use microservice application only. So next time, next class, might be tomorrow, you have to explain me. I won't explain. Okay. If you are not able to understand what is my monoservice and monolithic, I am ready to explain you, but it will be good if you itself can get some answers for that. Okay. So get answers for this and perform all these basics commands. Otherwise, you won't understand my next class. Okay. Practice this and let me know. And this is my number. If you have any doubts, you can call me. I'm ready to help you guys.
Damu, I have a question.
No, that's what you can call me to this number. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you can call me to this number because Karthik is. We have one batch at 12:15, so that people are waiting there. So you can call to this number. If you have any doubts, I'm ready to help you. Okay. Any doubts you can call me. Fine. Okay. Fine. Sure. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Hello, Ramu. Hello.